Welcome to the Commissioner's Corner, where you will hear directly from Commissioner Mark Schroeder on all things DMV. Good afternoon, Commissioner. Thank you for joining us today.
I am so happy to be here with you, and I'm always delighted that the very first thing I like to talk about is just to keep you updated on things that are happening with our governor. I've mentioned this before on many of our episodes that most people know she is the first woman governor in New York State history. Some might know she's only the second governor from Buffalo, New York, where I'm from. But a lot of people don't realize that she is the only governor in New York State history who has run a DMV. So she understands everything that we're talking about today and in prior and future episodes. She gets it, and she's very supportive of us here at DMV and the Governor's Traffic and Safety Committee. But this is a busy time right now, and the governor has introduced her State of the State address. She's introduced her budget. And what she's really working on is she is fighting for families in our state. She offered an affordability package, which puts money in the pocket of all New Yorkers. She has offered a proposal on child tax credits and also expanding school lunches and breakfast for our young ones. She's always trying to figure out ways, with this technology now, Jennifer, she's really trying to protect kids on social media. Also, another initiative of the governor's this year was to urge the school districts to figure out a way to put those phones away when the kids are in school. And forever, she's working on mental health solutions for all of us, and also especially public safety. And some of the subject matters that we're going to be talking about today really have to do with public safety.
And there we have it. The countdown is on for Real ID.
Yeah, so everybody knows now that there is a date that's out there, May 7th of 2025. And these are federal requirements. This began back in what happened with 9/11. And then there was a commission. And then the Congress and the president signed off on these 9/11 rules. And so it's very, very important that all New Yorkers understand that you have to be Real ID compliant, and there are a number of ways to do that.
How can someone tell if their ID is Real ID compliant?
Yeah, so what I would do is everybody who's viewing us right now, I would say to them, pull out your license, take it out of your pocket, take it out of your purse. If there is not a flag or a star, then you are not Real ID compliant in terms of DMV stuff. Now, if you have a valid passport, then you are Real ID compliant. But these are the things that are most important. Now, a flag represents dual things you can do with that license. Not only can you fly domestically, right? You can fly anywhere in the U.S., but also, if you're in Albany and you want to drive up the road 4 hours to go to Montreal, you can go right over the border. Or if you're in Buffalo and Rochester and you want to go over to Fort Erie or Toronto, you can go over the border without having a passport. The flag gives you that ability to go over the border. On the star, that's pretty much just one opportunity for you to be Real ID compliant, and then you can go visit grandma in Fort Lauderdale after May 7th, because if you're not Real ID compliant, you and your family could be very disappointed when you go to the airport after May 7th, or if you're trying to get into a federal building. These are important things. These are federal requirements. What you want to do is you go on our DMV website, and we have what is called a document guide. It will tell you exactly what you have to bring in. And then we also have pre-screening options. So the customer can actually show us what they have, and then DMV will say, yes, perfect, that's right, that's what we want. But then the DMV person will say, bring those original documents in so that you can be one and done, and we can give you your real ID or your enhanced driver's license.
Now, there's been some talk as to whether or not the Real ID will actually be enforced on May 7th deadline. Can you help clarify that?
Yeah, so I think what's happening is that the TSA, they are suggesting that starting May 7th, they've created some rulemaking. And so from a DMV perspective, all I really can do is encourage New Yorkers to please become Real ID compliant. Now, I don't exactly know what TSA is going to do. I don't know what's going to happen at JFK Airport or LaGuardia or at the Frederick Douglass Airport in Rochester or the Buffalo International Airport. I don't know what's going to happen. If you begin to go through TSA and they say to you, you're not Real ID compliant, I do not know exactly what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to give you a stern warning and say, don't you do this again, and the next time you come to the airport, you better be Real ID compliant, or if they're going to tell you and your family you can't board the plane. I'm not exactly sure. I don't think anybody is. That is the reason why we are staying focused here at DMV, and we are doing everything we can to convince New Yorkers, please, to become Real ID compliant. Go on the DMV website. We'll give you all the information, one and done. We're not going to waste your time or anybody's time on this. It's going to be done right the first time.
So in order to do it right the first time and be one and done, what are some of the mistakes that people commonly make before they go to the DMV?
The first mistake they make is that they don't go to the website. They must not have been Eagle Scouts, Boy Scouts, or Girl Scouts. They weren't prepared. And so that's why we encourage New Yorkers to be prepared. If you just show up at a DMV, the chances of you getting a Real ID or an enhanced driver's license is nil. Only because there are federal requirements to what you have to bring. I often tell people a woman has it harder if there's a name change, if there's a divorce. You have to be able to show proof of who you are. And there are certain documents that you have to bring in. If you go to our website, into our document guide, then it becomes an individual situation where the question will come up, and then they answer the question, and then they'll know exactly what to bring in. It's not hard to do, but you have to be prepared because there are federal requirements.
Right. And some of those are, you can't bring photocopies, you have to bring the original documents, you can't use nicknames, and you have to also provide appropriate proof of residency. But all that can be found at our website at www.dmv.ny.gov/document guide. This is a pressing matter, and we've got to get on it, and we hope that New Yorkers take this seriously. The lines are going to start getting longer, and appointments are going to be tougher, so we want you to move now.
Yeah.
Now, another common question that we also get is, can you upgrade to a Real ID even if your license hasn't expired yet?
Yes, yes, you can, and we would encourage that. If your license doesn't expire until the end of spring or summer, you want to make sure you get in beforehand, and everything is prorated, and so it's all going to be fine. But as you were talking, Jennifer, I was thinking, I carry this with me at all times. And when somebody's talking to me and they're looking like they see deer in the headlights, I just give it to them because it tells them exactly what they have to do. And so I would encourage people to go on on the website. But I do see a lot of people each and every day, and I carry one, and I'll ask them, let me see your license, and they'll laugh. And then when I don't see the flag or the star, that's when I tell them, you got to get going here.
Well, thank you for clarifying that for us. And with that, go out and get your Real ID. If you need more information or what documents to bring or to make your appointment, go to www.dmv.ny.gov. Thank you so much, Commissioner, for another episode of the Commissioner's Corner.
Very happy to be with you. Thank you.
And that wraps up another episode of the Commissioner's Corner, where we drive you forward.